A ministry point is what we are calling, what used to be called church plants, we're now calling ministry points. And the reason why we switched terminology there is that church planting, our church planters weren't really descriptive of what was really happening. We also wanted to add in an element, instead of planting a church and attaching that to a meaning or symbolizing attaching a meeting or planting a meeting. Ministry point is more descriptive of a group of people, not just one person or one couple, but a group of people coming together and having a ministry in the community and having a group around that ministry working together instead of planting just a meeting. So it's more of a missional small group. There are different ways of doing church and being church in community. One way that we've seen that done is having a community of people around a geographical location or a building or a piece of property. And a lot of their activity is centered around people coming to that property, meetings held at that property, whether it be a daycare or whether it be a school or whether it be a food bank. That the traditional church model is more around things happening at a geographical location, including the weekly meetings happening at a certain time, a specific time on a specific day where everybody that is associated with that community or walking together in that community or local meeting show up at that one place. And that's what I think would be typical and descriptive of a more of a traditional church look. Ministry points are more fluid and flexible. They are in different places at different times. Instead of having ministry focused on one day a week, their ministries are focused throughout the week. And they might have a regular meeting spot, but it might be a coffee shop. It might be a rented room at a community center. We have one ministry point that rented some space from a Christian school, and they come in on a Friday night and have their meetings there. So I guess ministry points would be more, instead of connected to one spot, they're connected to multi-spots, and instead of being conducted at one specific time, they're being convening at different times throughout the week. If a person wanted to see, ministry points are started around an idea or a vision, and so what we do with people, that we start with people at that point where they have an idea or a vision of something that they want to do. And at that point, we sit down with them, talk about their idea. There is a proposal form that we give to them and that helps articulate in a succinct way what they're wanting to do and how they're seeing that connected with Northwest Yearly Meeting. And at that time, we begin to talk to them a little bit about why does this have to be a ministry point? Why aren't you doing this through a church, through a local friend's church? And we'll have a little bit of a discussion on the importance of being connected to local churches in their geographical context. In the past, it's been a little bit hard on new ministry plants not being connected to local churches just because they feel so isolated and feel so alone. So headed into the future, our goal is to have all our potential ministry plants connecting first to local churches and maybe partnering with those local churches in the yearly meeting to be able to launch or incubate their ministry to get it to a certain point where it is going to be sustainable. So these conversations happen over a period of time. Instead of days, it's in weeks. It's weeks and months that these conversations happen, where we help the people that have that vision to understand their need for community with other local churches in their area, but also gathering a support group of people around them. They need people that are going to be partners in ministry. They're going to need a community, and they're going to be needing to see that community in action and sort of proven to be able to go through the ups and downs of ministry. And that's best done in a place where they can feel like they've got some room to make mistakes. They've got some room for people to flesh out their ideas. Some people are going to flake, some new people are going to come on, and that sort of ebb and flow of ministry needs some time to be cared for in the beginning stages. So we talk to them about that process, help them make connections with those local churches. If they're not local churches, we help them develop other ways to develop support around them. We ask them to go through that for a year, to have a small group connected, that they're connected to on a weekly basis, and journey with that group for a year, and all along partnering with the Northwest Yearly Meeting Church Planning Subcommittee as we coach and mentor and help that process to go along. And after that period of time, the Lord really fleshes out for everyone, helping us to discern whether that ministry point is going to continue on to get official mission point or ministry point status.